I think there was always a certain curiosity about how things came to be the way they are. And and initially, I wanted to be an engineer like my father. My father was a mining engineer, and so I went into an engineering school thinking that that would be the path, but it didn't turn out right. And as I was looking for an alternative to engineering, I sort of felt like psychology was the scientific study of consciousness, and that felt very attractive. And so I went into the study of psychology and got a BA in psychology, and then actually got into graduate school, not so much because I wanted to be a professional psychologist, but mainly I wanted to stay out of Vietnam. In those days, they were sending people like me to Vietnam. So I went into graduate school, became a psychologist in graduate school as a result of that training. And in graduate school, I did a fair amount of sleep and dream research, which was an interesting way of studying consciousness, and that was pretty satisfying. But it turned out that I didn't really feel I wanted to be doing scientific research and be an academic sort of person. So I chose to go into clinical work and began to do clinical psychology work in around early 70s. And initially worked in Wichita, Kansas for a little while. And then I was a community mental health psychology in northeast Wyoming in a rural community mental health center. And that was kind of like frontline psychological work. There was a lot of activity. It was a boom town. There was a lot of distress, a lot of really interesting human experience to look at, and it was pretty fascinating for me. So I really was very deeply involved in being a service provider as a kind of a civil servant in a difficult human situation. And I think that was a really good personal training for me to function as a clinical psychologist.